Okay, today's essential question: how do we write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form? So there are two things needed to write the equation in slope-intercept form. First thing we need is the slope, of course. And then we, if you recall from the previous lesson, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So the slope is one thing we need right there. And we need the y-intercept. And then we use the y value of the y-intercept, the y value, to plug into our equation. So let's take a look at our first example. Write an equation of the line with a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of 0, -3. So our slope is 4. The y-intercept, 0, -3. So remember, the -3 is the b part. The 4 is the m part. So you write down the formula, plug in the appropriate numbers in the appropriate spot. So our slope is 4. Don't forget your x. And the b is -3. So that is the equation of our line in slope-intercept form. Next, we're going to look at it from a graph. So we're given 2 points. So if you don't give you the slope directly, you need to show how you find the slope, and that's where our formula for slope comes in again. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Make sure your y's are on top, your x's are on bottom. And then you have 2 points, so x1, y1, x2, y2. So my y2 is -1, minus y1, which is 2. x2 is 4, minus x1 is 0. So we've got -3 over 4, so that is our slope. And then if you notice, the y-intercept, the point where the line crosses the y-axis, is already given to you. So our b value is 2. So y equals mx plus b is the equation. Plug in the appropriate numbers, -3/4 x plus 2. There's your equation. Next, looking at an application. So we've seen problems like this before, actually one exactly like this. Dance Academy charges $20 to use the facility and $25 per hour of instruction. Remember, this per is a very helpful word in indicating where our variables should go. So remember, whatever comes after, that's what we're going to identify as our x variable. So in this case, x is number of hours. And then we're going to do a direct translation. So it's 25 per hour. That means 25 times x. And then they charge an additional $20. So that is going to equal y. This is your equation. You'll notice we have now introduced an additional variable into our equation. So we now have the y. When you have two variables, an x and a y, you have to also define what your y variable represents. And if we read the question, it says write an equation that gives the total cost. That's what we're looking for to learn the dance at the academy as a function of hours of instruction. So y would be our total cost. And this is a good opportunity to talk about a particular phrase that you are going to see a lot of right here, as a function of. That is a very important phrase because knowing where that phrase is will also help you identify what your x and y variables are. So it's always y in front as a function of x after. So in front of the phrase as a function of, we have our total cost. Okay, total cost to learn dance at the academy. So y is our total cost. After that phrase, as a function of, is hours. So our x variable is the number of hours. And then part B asks you to find a total cost for a specific number of hours, in this case 2. So now we take the equation we just wrote, and you're going to plug the 2 into the equation to find your total cost. So I plugged in the 2, so 25 times 2 is 50, plus 20, 70. Don't forget your units. We're talking about a total cost, so $70. It will cost $70 for 2 hours of instruction. Next, I have a couple practice problems, so go ahead and work those out, just making sure we get the numbers in the right spots. We're able to set up our equations, and then find a few other things. Make sure you write your equation first with an x and a y variable. And then next time we will look at more writing equations in slope-intercept form, where you are not given directly what the slope and the y-intercept are, and you have to actually do some calculations to find those values and then write your equation. So we'll see you next class.